Okay, good afternoon, all of you.
Sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Right. I need to share the screen first. Okay. Right. So until now we have been discussing about printing some numbers or using the for loop for various computations, right? So let me reiterate it again. So I will write a small program for this for I in range. So 1 comma 11 sorry. Okay, and I'm trying to print I. So when I try to run it, yes, you can see here that it is printing 1 to 10 numbers. Fine, this is what we have been discussing yesterday. Now I want to print after 2 increments. That means, see, until now we have been printing 1, so 1 plus 1, 2, so 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4, and 4 plus 1, 5, and so on. We are printing actually up to some number that has been given, that this is the number that we are giving, okay? Now, I want to print something like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Like this I want to print. So I start at 1. Next 1 plus 2 is 3. Next 3 plus 2 is 5. So 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9, and so on I want to print. So I might give 3, or I might also give 4. So 1 plus 4, 5. So 5 plus 4, 9. Like that I want to print. So actually in this case, we are seeing that we can only print one increment. But anybody has any logic to print it like this? Can anybody tell what to do? Yes.
We can put an if case inside this, sir. That if it is an even number, then don't print it. If it is an odd number, print it.
If this is an even number, you don't print it. It is an odd. No. Okay, fine. I might give 2 also here. This is not the case of even or odd as you have suggested, but I want to say any number that I am initializing, that number plus some number should be given.
Print I plus 2.
Okay. So every time you want to print I plus 2, according to you, see what will happen. Okay. Now what has happened? You see that I did not
So you're not audible, sir.
I will be audible again. Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
There is only 1 second gap time to say I will be audible and am I audible. That's all. Okay. See, once you look into this exactly, okay, what you have suggested, I have kept print I plus 2. Okay. So I am running the same one. I have saved it. See the output that you are getting. What is the output that you got according to your suggestion?
It's adding 2 to the first number on the range and then continuing it.
Yeah.
Yes. That's correct. So it own duty. So what is happening, for the first loop, I will say I is equal to 1 it is taking, right? And in the printing part, it is doing something like print. Okay, I'm just showing it with the symbol for print. Print I plus 2, right? So 1 plus 2 is 3. So 1 plus 2 is 3. And next, when it goes to the for loop again and comes down, in between what it is doing, it is now doing I is equal to I plus 1. So what is I plus 1? It is 2. That is equal to the previous 1 plus 1, that is equal to 2. Now the recent I is 2. So what it is printing now? The recent value 2 plus 2, the 4 is getting printed. You see, you observe the output, what is happening. Next, it is just printing it. It is not making change to I. Are you understanding? It is just printing it. So this is what happening in the memory. Okay. So I will tell you one thing. Based on this, I will just go on for this one. You see. So according to your suggestion, what I can say is, so when I am writing I in the memory like this, printing is different from changing in the memory. So when I have written the statement for I in range 1 comma 11, okay, colon, and print I plus 2. So just look into this, what I am doing. So initially I is given as 1, okay. And what it is printing? So 1 plus 2 is equal to 3 is printed. After this, it again goes to for loop. Before it comes down, it increments. By default, I said it will increment I is equal to I plus 1. So see this equal to in the sense we are changing something in the memory. So you are computing something and you are assigning the new computed value to the memory called I. So you will check what is the latest recent I and you will compute it. So in this case, what could be the recent I before you do I is equal to I plus 1? You check it in the memory. In memory, the I value is 1. So what you will do, you will simply do 1 plus 1, 2 and assign it to I. So it will be changed to 2. So after that, again it comes down. Prints 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Okay. Again it goes up. This time again it should be done. So what is I is equal to I plus 1? What is recent I? It goes to the memory and the recent I is 2. So it will do 2 plus 1, 3. So I is now changed to 3. So we need to change it in the memory. So I am changing it to 3. Okay. Now again it comes down and prints the recent I is 3, right? 3 plus 2, that is equal to 5. At any cost, we are not changing I's position or I's memory in this particular statement. The change is only done here. It is only printing. This is the reason you are getting 3, 4, 5. But what I exactly needed, if I initialize with value 1, the next value I need to get printed is 3. The next value I need to get printed is 5. So this is not the case in
Sir,
particular one. Any suggestion?
sir, yeah, sir. Sir, first we can take I in range from 0 to 11, sir, and print 2I plus 1, sir.
Keep 2
Okay.
after 11 also.
2I, you can take 0, sir. First you start with 0, sir.
Okay, 0.
And print 2I plus 1, sir.
Print 2i, 2
Plus
into
1.
I plus 1. This is what you want to do.
Yeah, 2I plus 1, sir. Yeah, 2 into I plus 1, sir. Yeah.
Because in mathematics you can write 2i, but in computer
Okay, yes, sorry. Sir. Plus 1, sir.
plus 1. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So will it work for any case? It's not 0. I might go with 3. But it should print 3 plus 2, 5. Okay. It should first print 3. Okay. Along with 3, the next number should be 5. So I expect when I go for 3 to 11, I expect 3 should be printed. Next 5, 7, 9. That's all. Because after this is 11 and we are only asking up to 11. This should be my output. Let me see what is your output. So this is my expected thing. Okay, we will keep it in comments. Okay, we will keep it in comment like this. And here, what is the value that you are printing?
Sir, you have not saved it, I guess.
I did not save it. Okay. Okay, now we can see what it's happening. 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21.
Hmm.
Because you have written something, some formula, right? That is the reason
Yes, sir.
going to that particular output.
It
So,
was a 1, 2 in this thing, sir, not from 3.
so I want this output to be printed. Any other suggestion?
After 11, we can keep 2s.
Okay, right. So some more suggestion that exactly what I want to teach is now has been suggested. That's fine. So let me teach you this. This
Comma
is
2.
eligible, and you simply go for I, and let me save it and show you what should be the output. So is this the output expected by me? 3, 5, 7, 9.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Let me explain what it is. So this is where I have shown this. Okay. So the fur in range that you are talking about has actually 3 parameters, and this is kept by default. So 1 is always by default. That means without your intervention, the increment will be at least 1. But if you want to specify the increment, then definitely you can specify it like what your friend has suggested, the 2 in place of 1 here. Okay, so this is almost equivalent to this one, which is in C and C++ programming. The first one is initializations. The first one is initialization. That means we are initializing I because we are writing I in range, right? So I is equal to 1, I is less than 11, and I is equal to I plus 1. So see how it is going on here? In the same fashion it is going on. So I is equal to 1, so 1 and 1 are matching. I is less than 11, so up to 11 it will go, and I is equal to I plus 1. Actually, without giving also, you can write it like this. So range 1 comma 11. This indicates that by default, this is holding 1. But if you want to change this increment, you can change it by writing 11 comma 2. The same way you can change it. For example, I can change this to 2. Right? So this is almost all equivalent to I is equal to I plus 2. I hope you understand. Right? So see what are all the things. The first one is called initialization because I is equal to 1. We are initializing I's value to 1. The second one is called comparison because we are comparing up to what level we need to go for in the loop. And the third one is called increment or decrement. So you might increase your I to some certain level, or you might also decrease the I's value to some certain level. Okay. So based on this, we have printed this one. So if I give 1 to 11, so what are the values I expect? It should be 1, 3,
5,
5, 7, 9,
9.
right? Let us save it and test. Okay, so I got 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. This is the output. So now, if I want to decrement it, so I want to print something different. So I want to print 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So can anybody tell me what is the change that is required here?
11 to 1
Okay, right.
or
11.
minus 2.
1 and is it
Minus.
-2? Okay, -2. Right. Let me.
Sir, I guess it should be 111 and then -2.
Okay, let me check that answer, and your answer we will also check it. See what is coming. It's coming with 11 9 7 5 3. But what is the expected output? I need 10 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. Okay, somebody has suggested what is that? 1 11 -2.
It's a -1. Why? Because if you're doing -2 again, it's going in the other order.
Okay, right. So
Yes.
okay, right. That's correct. No, it's not giving any answer. Why?
So then might be 11 and 1.
Okay. Let us go with the
So 11 0 minus.
yeah. Wait. 11 1. Let us also check this one. So let us learn by experimentation. Uh, let me see.
No output.
Why? No. I did not see. Okay.
Oh,
Earlier మనం ఏం చేస్తాం 111 -1
-1.
save that actually. Please inform me when I am not saving. Now, yes, no answer. And 11 1.
1.
Okay, 11 1 minus. Save it. It is printing 11 10 9 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2. Almost all we are there, but we miss one, and we are adding extra 11. So just a small change. Can you tell me?
So 12 and
The
0.
10 0
Sir,
10 0 minus.
0
10
minus.
0.
The
Yeah.
10
So
0
10
minus
0.
10 0.
0.
Okay. Save it. Clear. Yes. 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. We got it.
1.
So this is almost equal to like this. If you say this one, I will write the equivalent of both so that you will understand. So the for which we are writing now, for I in range, what we have written 10 0 -1 is almost all equal to, for I is equal to 10. So we are including 10. I greater than 0. Okay, because we are showing -1, it auto sets it. Actually, we need to write everything manual in C and C++, but it auto does it everything just based on the values. What is the next one? It might be I is equal to I minus 1. Okay.
1.
So every time when I is 10, it will check whether it is greater than 0 or not, goes inside, print something, come back, decrement I, so it will become 9, and check whether the 9 is greater than 0 or not. If it is greater than 0, it goes inside, does something like printing the number, and again goes up, and this time again decrement 8, check whether the 8 is like greater than 0 or not, comes down. That's what happening here actually. So we are initializing with, we are checking whether it is greater than 0 or not. Go inside, come back, decrement it, check whether it is greater than 0 or not, go inside. So again I will tell you. Please somebody, can you switch off your mic? Okay, some chat message has been. Sir, if we want 0 also in the series. Okay, somebody has asked me that, Shashank has asked me, sir, we want 0 also in the series. Okay, let us experiment this one also. What we do is, we will come back to our VS Code. Shall we do -1 here? So that we try to include 0 also. Let us try like that.
Yes, sir, let's try.
Clear. Yes, Shashank, I think your case has worked. right? So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 is also included. If you want to include -1, then what you do?
-2.
Yes, -2. Up to -2, you do it. So in this case, if you take the same case, I will tell you how the process is working. For I in range, so 10, 0, -1. This is what we have given, right? And colon, and we are printing something, right? This is the statement I am doing. So what happens here is, first I will be initialized with 10. Next, I is checked whether the it is greater than 0 or not. If it is true, it goes inside, prints it. See how I am going in a path, and decrements it because we have mentioned -1. After decrementing, it again checks i's value whether it is greater than 0 or not, and come back, print it, and go incrementing it. So the thing is that we only touch the initialization for the first time. Remaining all will only be doing with these two things. One is decrement or increment, the other one is comparison. So according to me, this is the first step that is happening. This is the second step that is happening. This is the third step happening. This is the fourth. This is fifth. See how it is going on. First initialization, comparison. If it is true, going inside, printing something, or computing some instructions. Next, again going to increment or decrement, does the operation. Again compare with the given value, whether it is greater than or less than or equal to, and if it is true, come inside. If it is false, you can directly go out of for loop to the next instruction. So this is actually the sixth thing that will happen. Did you understand the process of how for loop works? Yes or no? Hello?
So can you please explain it again?
Do you want me to explain again?
Yes, sir. Please, sir. Thank you.
Right. So when you are giving for I in range, so this time I will come with increment. Okay, 1, comma, 10 we will use. So it will print from 1 to 9, and this time I will give 2. Okay, so 2 in the sense 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. It will print up to 9. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So tell me what is the first step it will do according to the previous one which I have said. So I also write something like, so something that is inside it is print I. So print I is not only this statement, I can also write some other statements also. This is not only the statement. So these are all statements are inside for. This will be repeated for 9 times because we are only going from 1 to 9. So these statements will be repeated for 9 times. Whatever you do, that will be repeated for 9 times. So basically we considered in the initialized manner like only printing i's value. Okay. So tell me what is the first step that you need to do?
Initialize with 1.
Yes, initialize with 1. So this is my first step that I am telling. Right? What is the next step I need to do?
Comparison.
Yes, compare with this. So this is the second step. So I will compare whether I is less than 10 or not, because at this position, we are actually thinking about less than because we are going forward. So if we are going forward, we are comparing with less than. If we are decrementing our value, we are comparing with greater than. Okay, this is what we have done. What is the third step?
Increment, sir.
No.
Execute the statements inside the for loop.
Yes, execute statements. In the sense, after this, it will come here and execute these statements. This is the third step. What is the fourth step?
Increment decrement.
Yes, after this, it will go to this one. Here in our case, this is increment because we are not using minus. So in our increment manner, we are using INC. That means I is equal to I plus 2. That's what happening here. Okay. What is the fifth step?
Again comparison, sir.
Yes, after this, so this is fourth. After this, we again compare fifth one. So whether the incremented value is less than 10 or not. If it is true, you again repeat the third step. Execute the statements, right? So it's like this. You can see after fifth, if true, go to third step. So again, you execute the statements. Again, you go to incrementing it. Again, you compare it. If the I value is less than 10, if it is true, again go to third step. If false, so go to step 6. Okay, this is where you stop executing. Did you understand what is happening? At least now? Somebody who has asked to explain me again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, right.
Sir,
So, yes,
here in the range, we're giving a specific bound, sir, like 1 to 10 or 1 to 11, like that. Now, if you want to print up to like infinity range, then what can we put on?
Infinity actually, let me check. In actually C or C++, we can directly give semicolons when we do it. Let me check it like this. I do it -1. I don't give anything. I initialize with 1 and so on. Let me check this one. Maybe it will allow or not. Yes, it is not allowing.
So you have put 2 commas, sir.
Yeah, I have kept intentionally. The reason is I am leaving it blank exactly. And it is giving me an error. See, actually in C++ for infinite, we will give it like this. So it will directly, without initialization, it goes completely to the infinity. Let me do it like this. At least I will try. Well, let me compile it and see. It is wrong. Yes, it's still wrong. Let me remove this one and save it. It's still wrong. So I need to think about infinity.
So
Yes,
one
sir, we
comma.
can do one thing.
Yes.
So we can put the termination to a variable and not a fixed number, and then change the variable after each step in the for loop.
Okay, you are trying to change the comparison variable, right?
Yes, I am trying to change the termination value, sir.
Okay, right. So what you want to say, first you will say that I will take n is equal to 1 initially, right? Not 1, but 2 initially, right?
Yes, sir.
And you are taking I with 1, and every time you are saying n, right?
And inside the loop, we are changing the value, we are increasing the value of n. N
is
equals to n plus 1 or something.
1 you are increasing. So anyway, every time n will be always 1 greater than I. Yes. So this is your.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Let me see that. Logically, it might work, but it is just stopping there.
Sir, did you save it?
I saved it. I hope. Otherwise, it will not work. It's only coming with 1. So 2.
Sir, if we write one comma and leave it,
That is giving an error.
Error. That's the reason. And
There was one more, like one again giving colon and leaving like that. Is there anything like that?
I think it's no. No, if I leave it like this, it is not going for infinity.
So colons are not comma.
Mm-hmm.
If we put colon instead of comma inside the brackets.
You want what you want to put?
Colon.
Colon. Here.
Yes, sir, colon.
Syntax
The
error.
2 dots.
You want colon here?
Yeah, then will it work?
Syntax error.
Definitely. Definitely a syntax error. See, colon is basically used for these lists and strings where you
Lists and yes.
range.
Yeah.
I want to take one thing is let me find out the answer for that. Yes, definitely that's a good question. I think it's not very easy for us to do it in Python because they have eliminated this almost infinite. In C and C++, it is very easy, and sometimes it also might be a very good error that happens during execution of the program. So to eliminate that, sometimes they might have removed it. Let me check out and I will answer your question. 1 minute. Let me do one thing once.
Sir, while loop.
There is a function called infinity, but I don't think that we need to use it. I want logic. And for yeah, while loop it is okay. I can do it in while loop because if you say while true, everything will be done. I can simply write
Yes, sir.
while true,
K greater than.
and I will say pass in the sense that program never stops actually. Okay, this is okay, but I'm thinking about for loop. Let me try something which I got. So basically, it is a major doubt in the internet also. Let me do this. Iter I in I will use iter function. I will tell you what is iter later on. Now it is not necessary. Iter, and I'm using int comma. So anyway,
So what if we use nested for loop?
nested for loop. In what range you are trying to use nested for loop?
So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to increment the value of n again and again, sir.
Okay.
So that it never ends.
But actually, we have tried to increment, right, in the previous situation. We
Yes,
have
sir.
given n is equal to n plus 1, but why it is not still in effect? That's what we need to find out. That we need to experiment. Because we need to understand that if we once a comparison value has been set, even if we try to increment it, it might not be possible. I hope this should also be experimented. Let me check this one after saving it. Fine. So this is the infinite way. Continuously the zero is coming. See, using iter function, I can do it in an infinite way. See how many zeros are coming continuously. Okay, I will stop it. Control Z. You can see how many zeros are there. I am just lifting it. See, I think my entire terminal has been swallowed by this one. See, so I will clear the entire thing. So no more RAM memory will be taken. So this is the statement for infinite loop. So it is out of our coverage now. So when we come to the function called iter, then we will discuss about infinite loop. Okay. So somebody who has asked it, let us keep it in reserve and we will talk about this one when we come to iter function, right?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, that's a good idea to have infinite loop also. Sometimes we need it because I use infinite loop in most of my C or C++ programs when I'm writing password program and so on. So where we require without any conditions, we need an unconditional program. So for that, I generally use infinite loop. But I have never tested it in Python. I did not get any chance to test it in Python. So anyway, I need to experiment this and I will come up with a nice solution for this. Right. Okay, now I think people have understood what is for loop, how it works, and somebody has said, "Who is? What is your name?" You said like n increment, right? What is that?
Sir, saw it.
Sorry. Yeah, I will experiment that one also. As you said, I will look into that one also. This all belongs to infinite loop, right? I need to first experiment and come back to you. Okay. I will use different modes to increment that. As you said, even the nested loop, I will try out and I will get back to you all regarding infinite loop. Okay. Right. I have a small question to you. So my question is, given a number and based on the number, whether it is even or odd, okay, whether it is even or odd, I will get the output. So, for example, I give n is equal to 2, right? So, 2 is even. So, my thing is that when 2 is even, when a number is even, print that number directly. If I give n is equal to 5, because n is odd, you need to find out whether the given number is even or odd. And based on that, you need to print the nearest even number. So the nearest even number to 5 is 6. So it is 5 plus 1, 6. It is just using your previous knowledge, not even for loops. Can anybody write down a program?
Sir, why can't it be 4, sir?
Yes, sir.
No. I am going in an increment fashion. Okay, the
Okay.
nearest.
Okay.
I am not going backside. I am only going forward.
Okay.
Every time I go in.
Sir, between a range of numbers or a particular number?
No for loops here. I give an individual number, just an individual number. Find out whether that number is even or odd, and based on that, I will print it. If it is even, I directly print that number. If it is odd, I just increment by 1 and print the next even number. Okay. Let me see how many of you will do it fast and show it to me by sharing the screen.
Sir, if and else condition we can use.
Yes, you can use. That's what I said. You can use any knowledge that you got. I did not go beyond what we have discussed. I am within our discussion and you can answer this question. Not even for loop is included here.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Done.
Right. Very good. Who wants to share the screen? The first comes first serve.
Me, sir.
Yes, you can.
It's disabled, sir. Hello.
Yeah, I have enabled it.
Done, sir.
Yeah, this one.
Good. Very good. Right.
Thank you, sir.
Next.
Sir, can I?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, you can. Anybody who press share screen first will be no permission from my side.
Okay. So this one.
Good. Fine. Okay. Next.
Even I done the same, sir. What Sri had done.
Okay. Right. Any other?
Sir, I'm sharing sir once.
Yes.
Sir, I did. Can you see, sir?
Yes, I can. I can.
I did this.
Okay, very good. Very good. That's fine. So a little bit different. Okay. Right. Any other?
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Vishnu.
I did this.
Hmm. Okay, fine. Next, anybody?
Sir, I done the same which Sriya
Okay,
presented.
that's correct.
So I have also done the same thing. Should I share the screen?
If it is the same thing, no need. Okay, let me share my screen. Let me share my screen and I will do something that's really needed. I really thought about doing this one for you because you need to understand where you need to use conditions if it is not necessary. Let me take n is equal to int of input. Okay, I'll write enter a number. Okay, now your task is to print the same number if it is even. If it is odd, you need to print +1. I have clearly given this instruction, right? The one thing I can do is print, okay, n mod 2 plus n. Save it. Enter a number 2, 2 is printed. Enter a number 3, 4 is printed. Enter a number, I will print 6, 6 is printed. Enter a number, I will say 9, 10 is printed. So what's the difference between your code and my code?
Yours is a two-step code, sir.
Yes, it's simple mathematical, understanding of computation. So that's why I want to show this example to you, because in afternoon when I am just thinking about what can be the new thing I can tell it to you for this class, I got this idea about how people will think about finding even or odd. Okay, so not every time you go for conditions like else, if, and everything. The simple thing is you can write down this particular one in a better way. Okay, so why do you have conditions if you just have a computational knowledge? Because it directly gives something. If it is even, it will give 0. So directly only n will be printed. So 0 plus n will be printed. If it is an odd, it will give 1 as a reminder. So n plus 1, so directly that the nearest and the next odd number will be printed. Okay. So you might think that why only this case, why not other cases? Yes, you can go for any other case, but I have took this case. If this is the output I want, how do I think? So how can I remove the conditional statement so that I can reduce the number of lines of code and ask the computer to do within few steps and few instructions? So this is how you can use it, by using mathematics directly without any conditions. So you have done like this, right? Most of you have done in various aspects. I understand and appreciate that. But there is way to reduce the number of lines of code. So you might be doing, if n mod 2 is equal to 0, you are printing uh, okay, uh, what we say, n. Okay, and you are writing like this, right? Else statement also you are writing print n plus 1. This is what most of you have written, right?
Yes, sir.
In this case, why you need else part is also my doubt. If you have written like this, I can further reduce it. I will copy the same statements again. I will keep that like that. Okay. And I remove else part and I simply make it this way.
Pass.
How many of you will challenge that this will not work?
It will work, sir.
It will work. The reason is, if it is n, it will print the value here, but it will also print this one. If it is not even, so in this case, I can only say that I can only say that this works exactly for only odd. Did you understand? This only works exactly for odd number. The reason is, if this condition is not satisfying, it will not go inside. So it comes out and only prints this one. There is no else part needed here. But if you go for even, it goes inside, prints this one. After that, it comes to the next statement and print this one also. Did you understand? So for even, these statements will not work. But please remember, this type of eliminating, to use else part less when we come to functions. So just remember this. At present, what you have used is correct. There is no need for you to worry. But when coming to functions, I don't even need this else part. I can write it like this. Simple thing is, I can use a thing called return n and return n plus 1. So you will understand what is the use of these statements in functions. Okay, when we discuss about functions, you will understand what is return keyword and why I am eliminating else part, so that I can reduce the number of lines of code. So in this manner, I can write the same code in various levels, but it all depends on how efficient you are writing. So అంటే మనకు అవసరమైనప్పుడు మట్టుకే మనం వాడాలి, రియల్గా మనకు అవసరమైనప్పుడు. If we have an alternative to reduce it, okay, use this one. It is far better than using these many lines of code, right? So think about the logic in various ways. So first of all, you need to find out the solution. After solution, you first write a code. After writing the code, you need to think about how many lines of code I can reduce using some mathematical expressions and reduce that. Remove number of conditions, because conditions will take some time and your complexity will increase. So if you do this, definitely you will get selected in Microsoft and Facebook and so and so. Very simple, right? So they will look into your efficiency of coding, how many lines of code you are trying to reduce. Because remember, in software industry, every line is very important, because the cost efficiency in software engineering, అంటే నేను బడ్జెట్ వేసుకోవాలంటే ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ కి, it is calculated using the number of lines of code that are taken. So for example, there are 20 million lines of code in an operating system. These 20 million lines of code will be divided into few code lines. For example, 1 lakh code for each person. So in this case, 20 million in the sense that a million is 10 lakhs, right? Sorry, a million is actually 10 lakhs. If I say 20 million lines of code, how many lines of code are there? Can you tell me? It's around 20 into 10, right? Nobody is talking?
Around 200 lakhs.
Yes, 200 lakhs in the sense it is 2 crores.
Yes.
Right? 2 crore lines of code are there in an operating system. And if you divide it with 1 lakh, how many members should be needed? And how much of salary you need to give to each person, so that what is your budget? So this is all the thing that the people will really think about in the software industry. It's not like going to lab and doing the code and writing something and passing the exam. When you go to industry, it's quite different. They want efficiency. Then they ask you to think about how you reduce the number of lines of code, how intelligent you are in applying the logic. Okay, so దీన్ని మనం తెలుగులో అయితే బండ కోడ్ అంటాం, అంటే it's like brute force approach. Some logic you can apply like this, and you can also attain the same output with less efficiency, with greater efficiency. I hope you understood what I want to say now. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So from here onwards, you try that way also. Don't be in a hurry. I will give ample time for you if I give any puzzle. Try out with some good logic. So today I see most of the codes are equal. Most of the codes are equal. But
It's
tomorrow,
3
if I give any puzzle, then your code should be somewhat different. Okay, this is what I want. Let me go to another file. Okay, I did not save it and I'm thinking something else. Right. I want to introduce a new data structure called list. So a list is said as an array. Why I'm introducing list? Because I want you to use for loop to print all the elements in the list. I will show you how you can print it. I will stop at list and again come back to while loop and all. I will finish up the loops. After finishing up the loops, I will come back. I will go back to the different data types again. We talk about some theoretical aspect. So because you have some practical knowledge on what to do and how to do, you will definitely understand what I am saying. It's very easy for me to explain now. So let me go to list like this. A list almost looks like a string. So whatever you said, for example, S is equal to Kranti. Okay, if I said like this, I already said to you that it exists something like K, R, A, N, T, H, I separately for each thing. If you come from the start, what is the index number that it starts in a string that we have discussed earlier?
0.
0.
Okay, next 1, next 2, okay, 5 and 6 like this. Okay, 0 to 6, total 7. From here, what is the value that we have thought? What is from the backside?
-1.
Yes, -1, and this one -2,
Minus
right? Next is -3. Next is -4, right? Next is -5, so and so on up to -6 and -7. So from reverse you say it as minus, from starting you say it as 0 to 6. That's a thing in a string. But memory wise, a list will always appear like a string itself. So the same thing, if you have understood this one, I will now talk about list also. Let us declare a list here. So our list L is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a list actually. So what I have done, I have used two square brackets. In between, I have used some numbers. Now, let me ask you, if I want to print 2, how do I print it?
L of 2.
L of
L
2.
of 1.
If you print L of 2, what value will be printed?
3.
3 will be
The 0th index is holding 1. The first index is holding 2. The second index is holding 3. Okay. So whatever that we are giving in between these square brackets is actually the index number. So for 2, it should be 1. Give it. Enter. Oh, I entered something different. Okay. It should be 2.
demolished 2, sir.
Yes, demo is 2. Yeah. I think you got 2 as a value. Okay, if I need 5, what should I do?
4,
4, sir.
L of 4.
Okay, I got 5 as an answer. Now, for example, if I give -1, what will happen?
5.
I will print,
5.
sir.
Okay, so if you -1, it is 5. So in the minus aspect, tell me what is the value or index value for 1?
-5.
-5.
Let me count. -1 is 5, -2 is 4, -3 is 3. Sorry, is it correct? Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Correct.
-4 is 2 and -5 is 1.
-5. Yeah.
Okay, right. So we will go to -5. 1. And I want to print 1, 2, 3 from list. Can you tell me how to print it?
L of 1
L of 0 to 2.
semicolon
Okay.
Square bracket.
0 semicolon 2.
0 semicolon space semicolon
Okay.
2.
1.
1 1.
I want to print 1 and 1 to 3 kaval naku. 1 to 3.
Two,
Up.
sir.
Then 2, sir.
4,
sir.
4, sir.
0
0.4.
column 2.
Okay, let me see. See, you whatever you are typing here are the index numbers. I want 1, 2, 3 should be printed. So tell me.
4, sir.
2, sir.
Sir, is 2, sir.
2, sir.
Okay.
2 semicolon 1.
One and 2 are printed. That means only 1 and 2 are printed. No, I want 1, 2, 3 to be printed. No, tell me.
Print 0, 3, sir.
0 colon 3.
3, sir.
The reason is 0 is index number and has 1, right? 1 is index number and has 2. 2 is index number and has 3 as a value. When you wrote 0 to 2, I already told you in strings that this place is, we are saying up to, right? Up to and now. Same on for loop lo lagane, strings lo lagane, up to. So that means it will go to 0, 1 and stop there because we are saying up to 2. Now tell me the modification.
0 semicolon 3.
0 to 3.
Semicolon 3.
0 semicolon 3. See whether the expected value will come or not. Yes.
Sir, you said up to 3 means should print only 1 and 2, no, sir?
See, I am talking about index number. Let me change the value so that you people will not confuse. 20, some 99, 100, 50. Now my output should be 99, oh sorry, 99, 100, 50. Tell me, to get this output, what should I do? Change something in the print
Sir, 3
to
to
get this output.
yeah, sir. In the place of 0, you should keep 3 and
What is
in a
9?
place of
2, sir. 2.
2 semicolon and space, sir. That's it.
Just look into this. 0. This is the index number.
oh, sorry. So 2 semicolon.
Okay, 1, 2, 3,
So -1 to 4.
4. Okay, right. Tell me, what is that I need to give?
-1 to 4. -4.
To get 99, 100 and 50.
Sir, print 2 semicolon. That's it, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, print 2 column. So that means you are saying up to end because it is 99, 150 because 50 is the last number. I want to print 100, right? Sorry, up to end. So I leave it blank so that it will think that I need to go up to end, up to that means up to 5. 5 in the sense it is the total length of. Okay, let me look into that. Let me save it. Oh, I'm sorry. I have given this one on top. I need to remove this. Save it. Okay. And now I want to give 20, 99, 100. Now
Print L of
1 semicolon 4.
1 comma.
One
What
semicolon
is
4.
for 21, because this is one index, the 0th index, and this is one index. Next, 100.
4, sir.
1 semicolon 4.
Not semicolon, it is only colon. Semicolon is this one. Okay, this is semicolon, this is colon. You should only call it as colon. So 1 to 4. 1 to 4. So it means that I will start at 1 and go up to 4. Let me save it and find out. Yes, I think we got it. 20, 99, 100. If, for example, instead of leaving like this blank, if I want to print even 50 also, let me try a new thing. Let me say length of L. Let me try out this one. Okay, so that I will explain to you what is length. See, is the output correct? Whatever I have expected, is it coming right?
Yes, sir.
So, can you tell me what is the length of L?
5, sir.
5.
5. Because the total number of elements is the length of L. It is not in centimeters or meters or inches, right? The total number of elements in a list. So 10, 20, 99, 150 are all called elements. So we are making it as this much length. So my length is how many elements are there? So I have 5 elements. Then how to find out the length? The answer already I gave you is using function that is predefined. What is that function name?
LEN.
The len of whatever list you want, L. In our case, the list is L, so I will find out using length of L. So simply length of L is 5. So 1 to 5 kabatti 1 up to 5 or so 1, 2, 3, 4 will be printed. Remember, never confuse that these numbers are indexes. I think Paul earlier you have confused, right? These numbers are indexes. Indexes in the sense which you imagine on top. These are called the elements in the indexes. These are elements and these are numbers. That's why I changed it. Because if I write 1, 2, 3, 4, you will get confused between the index and the numbers. So I have changed it to random numbers so you will understand it.
Okay, sir.
Now, can anybody try out?
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Yeah, ask me.
Sir, like instead of length of L, what happens when we write 1 colon minus 1?
1 colon minus 1. Let me try it. Right?
Yes,
What?
sir. Yes, sir.
20, 90, 100. Right? Because I already told you that in the string that they have both parallel things. You can call 50 using L of 4, 50. L of minus 1 is also 50. That's
Yes,
what
sir.
you say. So L of 0 is equal to L of minus
Minus 5.
Okay, the same thing L of 1 is equal to from backside L of minus 4. So, and it goes on. Okay, so
Yes,
definitely
sir.
it also works.
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
one more doubt.
Yes.
Sir, in the previous step, we wrote length of L. The length of L is 5, sir. But the list is containing elements up to position 4 only. So how can we give the input as give me the position up to the 5th position? The value up to the 5th position.
That's what I am saying. Up to 5th position is you actually don't know. Okay. you actually don't know what is the length of list. So for that, we use length of L, the length function. I hope you understand. When we use this one, the answer it gives is 5. So when you write something like in this case, you are writing 1 colon length of L. So it is replaced with 1 colon 5 because the length of L is, the answer is 5. It means that you need to print the elements of indexes that starts from 1 up to 5. So up to 5 in the sense it prints 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all. Have you understood?
Yes, sir, but my doubt was if fifth position doesn't exist, then how can we tell the compiler, tell the interpreter that print up to the position 5? Or is it something
Yes.
that fifth position exists, but it contains value null?
Even 5 exists or not, the thing is that you can only print how many number of elements. See, it is just considered as a number. It is just considered as a number. In Python, the flexibility is not like C and C++. In C, when you have written a of 6 and you are saying the total element size is a of 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is how you are giving it. Okay. Sorry, and 6 also. And what it takes is it firmly fixes with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, for all the 6 elements. And when you give something like a of 7, it will say the index never exists. But the flexibility in Python is it will never give an error. You see, I can give 100 also. Let me see. I don't need to type again. Okay. Is it Saurath who is asking?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. See how I will do it. See, from 1 to 100 also no error has been given or no error has been raised. It is giving 20, 99, 100 and 50. See, one flexibility that Python has is that it will never show an error of whatever number you give. It just takes it as a number. If this number is part of index, then it will consider it as an index. If this number is not part of index, it will just eliminate it and it thinks that whatever the length of the particular list, I need to print up to that. So wherever you start, it will only go up to that length and stop there. It will never bother about what number you have given. I can give 1 crore also here. Did you understand? So
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Maybe
Thank you.
because you had an idea of C++, this doubt should arise in your mind. That's correct. But I think I have clarified your doubt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right. Now my task is after doing all these things, I will just eliminate this. So I have a list with me. Can anybody now use for loop to print all the numbers in the list separately? So the output should appear like this. You see, I will give it in quotes. The output will appear like this: 10, 20. I want the output should be like this only. 100. It's easy that you know already, but a simple thing that you need to understand and exhibit your knowledge. So output should appear like this: 10, 20, 99, 100, 50. It should not appear as if it is shown earlier. You see, you have done it like this. If you're directly printing a list, it will give you including the square brackets. But now I don't want any square brackets. I only want this to be printed like this. The output should be same like this. Now use for loop and try
Yes,
out.
sir. Done.
Done? Okay.
Yes, sir.
We will wait for another 2 minutes. Let all the people try out.
Yes, sir.
Sir, how can we print a new line in Python, sir? Is it same endl?
Yeah, end. But I think there is no need for you to go for new line. Anyway, Python will print by default. If you
Okay,
want
sir.
it beside, then only we need to think about. That's easy in Python to have a new line.
Okay, thank you, sir. Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Completed, sir.
Okay, fine, that's good. Can anybody show me the thing that you have done? I will just stop my share so that people who press it for the first.
Sir, can I?
No, can I? If you press.
Okay. Can you see?
Alert from your disk is almost full.
Okay, can why there is a need for you to
Sir,
use?
can I?
Wait. Who is this? Who is showing?
Sai Shriya, sir.
Okay, so yeah, why you use int? It's already an integer, right?
Sir, but here it's acting like a string, right, sir? So I thought to convert it into integer.
It is not a string actually. They are all integers only.
Okay.
I
Sir,
told.
why did she use list, sir, instead of
Yeah, I will
range?
tell you. There are different ways to print everything in the list using for loop. I will tell you definitely. But so yeah, don't confuse between string and list because list is. I told this example for string because I want to make you know that string is also acting like a list. Okay. So, but list is different, which can accept strings, which can accept characters, which can accept integers, float, it can accept anything. It's a multiple data type. So you can take anything. So now in your case, I is an integer. There is no need for you to convert it again. Okay. Right.
Yes.
You can stop sharing it. Okay, next. Next, anybody?
Sir, is that visible?
Yes, visible. Yes, that's correct. Oh, right. You have started with 0 and you have taken that index number as I because you are going from each case index numbers. And you have gone up to the range length of L. That's fine. Okay.
Yes.
Any other? Somebody has said from the boys' side that we have finished.
Yes, sir, it was same to the previous one, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Sharing? Okay, right. That's fine. Okay. Let me show you one thing. Whatever the people have done are all correct, but in different ways. To print it, I can go like this. I can say for I in.
So you're not sharing.
Share screen.
Okay, I will share. I can say for I in range 0, comma, okay, for I in range 0,
Length
comma,
of strings.
yes, length of L. So I am expecting my I value to be starting with 0 and incrementing up to length of L. So length of L is 5. So naturally it will go from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and stop. Okay, that's what I am expecting. Colon, enter. Okay. So now you understand that my index value should be printed, because if I want to print 10, 20, 99, 150, then I understand that 10 is nothing but L of 0 and 20 is nothing but L of 1. 99 is nothing but L of 2. See, those who have already understand, don't take it frustrated, because once when I asked a girl to tell me the feedback on how the class was going on, she's telling that, sir, once you have told, we understood, why you repeat again and again, why you do everything like that. See, I am thinking about even the slow phase learners also. Most of the time, because I am a very slow learner, actually, myself. So please cooperate with me. I'm doing each and everything. But if I'm still fast, you can also tell me. I will try to make it out. So this is L of 3 and L of 4. Okay, so L of 0, L of 1, L of 2, L of 3 and L of 4. These things I need to print. So here you can find out that something is incrementing is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 are incrementing actually. So I thought, let me keep this index as I. So I am using for loop for I in range 0 to 4 up to 5. Okay, now coming to this, to print it, earlier we have been printing only one value at a time. Now you are printing all the values until the end of the list length. So now what I do is L of I. You see, now for the first time it enters, it will initialize I with 0. Okay, compare whether I is less than the length of L. Yes, it is less than 5. Go inside, it will print L of 0, which is nothing but 10. Again, in the same manner, it will come back. So by default, I said it is incrementing by 1. Mano idi pettina, pettakpoina koda, it will be default. Okay, you can also keep it like this. So increment by 1. So I is incremented by 1. Again, compare I with length. Go here. So L of 1 will be printed. Again, come back. Increment I by 1. Compare whether it is less than 5. Go in print L of 2. Again, increment, and so on. It will get printed. Test this whether it is correct or not. Okay.
Sir, once can I share, sir? Like I did, but little late. Sir, I can't hear you, sir.
You are not audible, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, now am I audible?
Yes, sir. Now you're audible.
Okay, fine. So I think we got the same output what we expected. Okay, and there is also another way to do this. I can say for I in range length of L. Directly I can write actually without giving any other things, because by default the initialized value will always starts at 0 and we only want to give the end value. So I can also write down like this. So L of I. Simple thing, right? So there is no 0 and 1. I have eliminated them and I have just given like this. Let me test this. So,
Sir, like I did this in second method, sir.
that's good.
Yes, sir. Like that's why I wanted to show, sir.
Okay. So you can print it like this. So we got the correct answers. Next one. I will give you a chance, but let me explain all without any interruption. Okay. So the next thing is I will simply go like this. I in L. Simple thing for I in L. This is also possible, which I need to explain in lists. Okay, because some of your friends have done it. I am just showing it here. I. So what happens is when I say I in L, so instead of I in this case, I will say elements. This is a correct word. Why I'm using I here is because I want to say this I is an index. So when your code you are writing, it should be somewhat readable and understandable. So if somebody reads your code, they think that I is an index. If you keep the same I, they get confused. Now this is also possible in for loop. You can directly write elements in L. You see what is the data type for elements it is expecting? Because all the values in L are mostly integers. It is expecting elements to be integers itself. So now I'm not talking about indexes. I'm talking about elements itself. This is another possibility that was given in Python. So this is a general case that we go like C and C++, a traditional way. But here, this is a new one. You can directly say
Sir, your voice is
Sir, your
low.
voice is not audible, sir. It's getting...
Okay. Now is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. So this is actually a traditional way of writing the code. Okay. Now most probably this is most traditional. It looks like C and C++. It is somewhat better. It is more better than this because Python gives a direct access to 10, 20, 99, 100 and 50. So what I give is for elements in L in the sense for each element, it will print the elements and come back. See, let me say print hi. Okay. So expect what should be the output for this. What should be the output for what I have written? 1 minute, one minute. Tell me, what could be the output for this?
Sir,
Is
all
it,
the list will come and again hi will also come, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you are not pushing for all the elements to be presented at a time. It will come like this: 10 high, next 20 high, 99 high, 100 high, 50 high. Right? Where did I get? Oh, I did not save it. That's the problem. So if I am saving it, I generally shout I am saving it. If I am don't, if I am
Sir,
don't.
once clear it now, so that terminal, please.
Yes, I will do it. Okay. So 10 high, 20 high, 99 high.
Sir, your voice is getting low, sir.
Oof. So 10 high, 20 high, 99 high, like that it has been printed, right? So this means that what you are taking is, it is not elements, but you need to think about like element. So each element in L is being printed, and that's why I'm giving a demo with high so that you will understand. Otherwise you will think, okay, at a time all the elements are taken. No. Element, the first element in L will be taken and printed. Next, the next element in L will be taken and printed. Next, the next element in L will be taken and printed. It goes until all the things have been printed. But can you tell me in what case you exactly use it? It's my doubt. Can you use in every case where you are printing the elements? Is my
No,
question?
sir.
Once repeat, sir.
Yeah,
Question.
my question is, if I want to print all elements, it is good, right? It is fine. If you want to print all elements, it's fine. Okay. But if I want to print from 10 to 99, from 10 to 99. So is this way that you are writing is useful?
No, sir.
No,
No.
sir.
No, sir.
The reason is you are printing all the elements, but if you want to print 10 to 99, it will not print. So for that, what you will use either this
Range.
is also not useful, but you can use this type of thing. Okay. So this is all based on your particular usage. What you want to use exactly, where you want to. So you can, instead of length of L, you can change it to what I want to print 10 to 99. So what are my indexes? So 0 to
4, sir.
4. Not 4, I think.
3,
Should be
sir.
3. Up to 3, because 0, 1, 2 will be printed. So 10, 20, 99 will be printed. So I can use this one for that particular case. Let me experiment this. I never experimented this. Let me do this. Can I say 0 to 3? Let me do this one and experiment this. And what is my idea? It's printing. Okay. So for printing this, you can do this one also, right? Did you understand what I have done there?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
what
sir.
I'm doing is I am just clearly specifying from what index to what index I want to consider the list might be 100 elements, but I only want to consider 3 or 4 elements. I will give from what index to what index I want the list and print each element from that particular list. Okay, did you understand? So what I'm doing is I will go to the board and explain you. So my list might contain like this. One, okay, 10, 99, 56, 44, 32, 100, 120, 200. Like this I have got. I want to print this one only. So what I will do, I will make it like a sub list. For that, what I'm doing, I'm writing something like for element, that means each element in L. If I give L, it will consider from this to this. So all indexes will be considered 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 will be considered. But if you consider this element for element in L of, I want this sublist. Can anybody tell me how I can write this sublist?
3 column
3,
6
6.
6.
Because it is up to. So 3, 4, 5 will be considered. So by this, I have created a sublist from the list. Switch off your camera. Anybody who is getting a back? Right? So we have element. So because we have a sublist in a list, which needs to be considered, we are saying that element in this sublist. So our elements are nothing but 44, 32, 100. Like that we can print. So I think we can also use this one in our case. So earlier we thought we should only use this type of one. So now I can use this one also. Right? Have you understood?
Yes, sir, sir. But I have small doubt, sir.
Ask.
Sir, can you explain like you're taking 3 now, sir? 0 column 3. Can you explain that, sir? Like I'm getting confused again and again, sir.
Same, sir. Sir, once can you go to the G board, sir? Even I have the similar doubts, sir. It should be 3. It should be 3 to 5 now, sir. Why 3 to 6?
Yes, sir. Same doubt, sir.
Every time you are asking the same thing, right?
Up to.
The colon is from up to. I will write it in a big way so that you will never forget it. Okay. This is from. Okay. This is up to. So if I give 1 and this is 5, you are starting at 1, going to 2, going to 3, okay? Next going to 4, and I said up to, not including, right? So you will stop at 1, 2, 3, 4, that's all. Did you understand?
But, sir, in the previous case, in the VS code, sir, once can.
Ah,
Then sir, it should be 0 to 4, no sir, then to print up to 99, 10, 20 and
Why
99.
0 to 4? This is 0th index, 20 is first index. You see here,
Okay.
99.
Okay, sir, I got it, sir.
There
Yes,
is
sir. Got it, sir.
whatever.
Again, I confused, sir. 1, 2, 3.
Remember, whatever the end value, whatever it might be, the end value is only up to. The end value is always up to. So you should only print up to. So that means it is nothing but less than the end value, not equal to end value. So you need to remember that whether in this case for loop or whether in this case, if you have comma, right? Start, end. Here also start, end. In both the cases, you should compare less than end. Okay, less than end. And it should not be less than equal to end. Did you understand the difference between less than end and less than equal to end? If it is less than equal to end, in this case, you need to consider even 5 also. But what I am giving, it is not less than or equal to, it is less than end. So end in the sense up to. So you are not considering this one because less than 5, that means the end is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you understand now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, like we are considering only index places, no, sir?
Yes, they are all indexes. That's all.
Yes, sir.
Because if you want to retrieve value, the fundamental understanding is that a RAM or a memory having addresses. You don't know what are the addresses for each one, but you know what is that name. The name for something is, for example, I give something like A is equal to 6. This I will anyway explain when we go to data types, why data types and everything. When A is equal to 6, 6 is a value stored somewhere in your RAM memory and it has its own address. We don't know what is the address of that. We can find out like this. 1 minute. We can find out like this. Print ID of A. So this you can consider as an address in the memory. Let me check out. Okay. The address of that particular A. Okay. Whatever value it is stored, the 6 is stored in this particular address.
So your voice is low, sir.
Again, my voice will be high. Is it high?
No, sir.
No. Now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the address of the place where 6 is stored. But we don't know address. Because we don't know address.
Again, it's low, sir.
Oof. So we called that address with a name called A. Are you understanding? This is what the assignment mean. So you are placing 6 at some place in the memory and you are naming that place as A. That A might be having an address. Now if you want to retrieve a particular element, so if A is a list, for example, you're saying 30, 40, 50, something. A is a collection of values, collection of elements. So if you want to retrieve 30, there is something that was given, A of 0, because all are having A as the name, but you need to differentiate. I think we have our apartments, right? The same thing happens with our apartment. So we have an apartment name, but still we have a flat number, right? That is our index number actually. So if the address has to be told Srinivas Apartments S5, somebody comes and asks the address of other person, you will say Srinivas Apartments F2. The same thing. Now A is the name of the whole array or a list, and this is the particular number of a particular element. That is why most probably whatever that we consider inside these brackets or parentheses will be index numbers. I hope you understand. Okay. Did you understand? Fine.
Yes, sir.
Right. We have another 15 minutes of time. So now you understand how to print all the elements here. And now I will give you a task of printing reverse. Print reverse. Reverse print all the elements in a list.
Sir, I got it. Sir.
Okay, good. If you want to share, I will stop it and you can share it.
So we have to print from back.
Yes, I want it to be printed from back.
Okay.
Okay, close it, Vishnu.
Alert from
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay. So try out and experiment it differently, whatever you want. And we will go to the next concepts after Pongal holidays. And happy Sankranti to you all.
Same to you, sir.
Same to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Same to you, sir.
Same to you, sir. Same to you, sir.
Thank you.
So I did it in a different way, sir.
Okay.
Can I share?
You can share.
You're not audible, sir.
Yeah, you can share.
Yeah.
Second, I will
Yeah.
just. I had a phone call.
Yeah, this one, sir. Can you see, sir? Hello.
Yeah, Paul, tell me.
Yeah, sir. This is I did like, sir.
Length minus 1 to minus 1 minus 1. Okay, you are going backside. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Fine.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Sir, what did he do? Like, I mean, -1, -1.
Actually, he has done that length
Decrement, sir.
of.
Yeah.
So he is actually going in another direction. Okay. So
I didn't decrement minus.
yeah, in decrement order he has done, and that is up to -1 in the sense he actually is considering 10 as 0 itself. Okay.
Yes.
So -1 means it is going from what is the total length of this 4, right?
4, sir. 4 to 0.
2, 1, 0. It is going and stopping. That's how he went.
Yes, sir.
So
Means,
he's
sir,
decrementing the indexes actually. Yes.
Yes, sir.
okay. Yeah. Sir,
Okay.
will it not show syntax error for using comma instead of colon?
Where he has used that? Why do you feel syntax error? Where do you feel?
Like he wrote length of 1 -1 comma instead of comma. Like, I mean, we have to use colon, right? So,
Where will you use colon?
so we write.
I didn't decrement. It's decrement. It's not the same. I'm not in the string.
Yes, that's not the case she is asking. She is entirely confused between that square bracket and parenthesis for loop.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can stop sharing it.
Yes.
Again, I need to write a very big one. So whenever I does a mistake, my mother used to write very big things so that I will never forget it. So I had the same habit of showing that.
Sorry, sir.
So that you will never forget, your eyes will catch like that. So for loop, you will have.
So you're not sharing screen, sir.
Okay. So my entire process will be not good and waste of time. Yes. So start, end, and increment or decrement. This is
Yes,
where
sir. I understood this.
even though you understood, I need to show. This is where you are talking about list, column, start, end. For strings, we have another things tried, and we can also go through for list also. We will talk about it later. Okay. This is the difference between them.
Acha, I got it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So slowly, I think you can leave. Bye bye for today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Alert from your disk is